is at the Township Court. I have to ask for nomination from somebody, and for a motion from somebody to, elect a moderator for this meeting.
I'll make a motion, you run, Debbie runs the meeting.
I'll second. You run it, we think once.
Can you start? Yeah,
It might be a little slow, but
it's okay. I'm slower than usual.
okay. Public comment on agenda items. Does anybody want to speak on the agenda?
All in favor, aye.
Oh, all in favor, say aye. Sorry. See, I'm already not with that.
That's okay.
Go ahead, Linda.
I'm Linda Lavalette, 117 I Road, Bark River. I want to reserve the right to speak on item 16C when it's discussed.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments on agenda items? Anybody else? Okay. Approval of agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll support.
Watch this. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we got it now. All right, number 6, we have no guest speaker tonight. Number 7, approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of June 16th, 2025.
I'll support. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Oh, I know, I'm really getting good at this. Consent agenda items, we have the assessor's report, fire report, water systems report, water billing register, all of the financial reports, and the payment of bills. Oh, thank God.
I just had a quick question on the payment of bills. There were 2 names on there with, was that a deposit you returned, the $200 check? Was that some sort of
The
deposit?
$200 check
Yeah.
is the deposit on their, rental to the hall.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to.
If it's the 2 I'm thinking of.
It's $200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just want to make sure. Oh, I was wondering. I mean, the motion on this to consent.
Yeah.
We need the motion, we accept the consent agenda items.
I'll support.
Motion and support, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Communications, we have the planning commission meeting minutes from June 4th. Zoning administrators report from June. We have the fire department minutes from June. We have the thank you letter for membership renewal from the Michigan Township Association. Notice of meeting of the Central Upper Peninsula Materials Management Planning Commission. And the letter from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And moving along. Number 10, fire department business, fire updates, Brian?
All right, on our 3 calls in June, they were all non-billable, 2 of them were for power lines, and 1 was a mutual aid call for the city of Escanaba. We had a bill that turned in tonight for, Pier Run Trucking. I thought I already contacted them, have them change the billing address here, but they came to my address again, so
I'll put a note in the check there.
check item. That was for oil change on unit 2, so we just got 1 truck left to get oil change done on. We had a past firefighter that moved out of the area that moved back, David Simmons. We voted to accept him back on the department at our meeting, but we need approval from him.
I was wondering how long it would take him, because he's not only back, he's living in the township.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve Dave Simmons as a member of the
I'll second. Got a motion and a support, any other discussion? Brian, does he need any kind of training, or is he?
No, he was
Still good?
and stuff, yeah. He was on Department of Hope and too, so he kind of
Okay,
kept.
so you got everyone, right? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
All right, and then the last thing, I gave you guys a copy, so the DNR grant from last year, I gotta finalize that. So basically that was for turnout gear. So I went through, I had to, basically to do the bids and quotes because the DNR required that as well, so I sent out a request for quote and bid for, I had to, a whole bunch of companies, I ended up getting 7 of them back. So the spreadsheet kind of shows what the price were for the different companies. So there's 2 types of gear that we got, you'll see, some of them are in the column of structure fire, and some of them are in the purpose of the column of dual purpose. So basically, I mean, I have to get, you know, basically get quotes to suffice the DNR anyway and everything, so, looking at the prices. The gear that the structure fire gear that we have been using, they went way up in price, so we're looking at switching to a different one that's still. Still good as far as protection wise and stuff. So my recommendation, is the top one, the MES Fire Company. And what I would like to, get would be the 2 sets of structure fire gear. And that's kind of what we've been doing every year, is kind of getting 2 sets, plus I have one guy that doesn't have gear that fits them, so. 2 sets of structure fire gear, which would be 5,186. 2 sets, and then, 8 sets of the dual purpose gear, which is something new that we're getting, which will come up to 8,040. Now, we have the DNR grants is 10,000. That's a matching grant, so that's the one where we spend 10,000, we get 5,000 back. We have to spend that in order to get it. And then we also have, a grant from the casino for 3,750. So that brings it to 13,750 that we have to spend, so. If I do the 2 structure gears and 8 of the dual purpose gear, that puts me at 13,226. And then there's gonna be shipping charges in there, so that's gonna put us pretty darn close. So what I would like to recommend, approval on, would be to, purchase that. Basically that combination, I know the DNR grant itself was already approved back when we had applied for it. So it's just a matter of, you know, approving that. And then, I can go ahead and get it ordered. And then, to be able to pay that, because we have to have all the paperwork back, including the clear check, everything by September 1st. So I don't know if we would have to wait till after the August meeting to pay that, or if you can pay that once we get the bill.
No, we can pay it on approved tonight, yeah.
Yeah, so I would ask for approval to purchase the 2 structure gear, 8 dual purpose gear from MES Fire. And then, be able to pay that when the bill comes in.
So we have a grant for how much, Brian? How much total in grant money?
8,750.
No, 13,750. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
8,750, but we have to spend 5,000 in order to get 5,000 that, so.
So you're asking for, so we have to approve 5,000.
well, we have to spend 13,750.
We have to spend it all and then we get reimbursed 5,000 from. And we already should have the check from the casino grant, should have already came in,
Yeah,
so.
So bottom line, then how much is it gonna be once the grants come back in?
So once the grants come back, it'll be the,
5,
yeah,
5,000.
5,000.
And we already approved it.
yes. But we need to approve this actual quote and this actual vendor to pay that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we've already budgeted that out.
correct, it's all budgeted money.
Okay,
Yeah, this, regular budget.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion that we buy 2 structure gear and 8 dual purpose gear from MES Fire in the amount of 13,226 plus shipping.
I'll second.
Further discussion, I have a question. But not that. Oh, yeah, tell me again what dual purpose gear is, Brian.
So the dual purpose gear, basically it's kind of a new thing that's coming out now. It'll basically be, you can use it for anything except for structure fire. So we can use it for wildland, we can use it for like accident scenes, trees on power lines. Basically what they're finding and what they're recommending in the fire service is that you're being your actual structure fire gear as limited as possible because they're working on legislation, but there is still certain levels of PFAS in the actual structure fire gear itself.
Okay, so this isn't to replace structure.
No.
This is something that isn't quite as,
Right, so basically you can use that for everything except for an actual structure fire, which is also gonna save the wear and tear on a structure fire gear, which is a lot more expensive, so.
And you're more commonly going to the accident scenes and power lines and stuff like
and you
that.
know where you're going before you suit up,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anybody, any other comment on it? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
I believe that's all that I have.
Okay. Moving on, water systems updates. All right,
I received our emergency chlorine pump. Care of all the CCR last month and. Early this month, I completed leak detection survey with Aqualine. I just got a final report back at 4 p.m. He's estimating we're losing between 3 places, we're probably losing 20,000 gallons a day. Which is about 600,000 a month. So I've already talked to Jamie Grand about trying to schedule one of them. I think it's only from 3 items. But the second large one is actually right over here by the hydrant. There's something leaking. We got 3 target areas I'm gonna start scheduling with either DeGrand or Bradfield. That's all I've got for options.
anything on the marketplace?
I didn't hear back from the.
Reply.
Supplier, I haven't talked to him. Guessing it's a no, I pretty much provided that summary in case. Just whatever happens next, I'm going to keep you guys updated.
Perfect. So keep this in case we need it later.
Relatively, yeah.
Okay. All right. Zoning administrator business.
We got a few permits in the month of June, we had a fence in R1. Someone in R2, someone's kind of redoing a cabin, putting new joists in the floor, new rim joists as well, then building a new deck. RR on G5 road, there's a new garage permit. Then another fence in RR, it's a season of fences right now. One chicken complaint in R2. Steve had just told me about this, I told him to send me the contact information to the neighbors, I haven't received that yet, so I don't really know what's going on there. We had a member of the public complain about the null tap room, that the fence was prematurely started. And I took a drive by after the last planning meeting, it looked like they put, they're gonna be going ground poles in with strings. Kind of what you would fence in a garden with, and I think they're using it as, I think they're saying that's the rough sketch of where the fence is going to go. Then we had a complaint in R1 last month about the neighbor said that one neighbor said the other neighbor built a deck right up to the property line. And just so happened, I wrote a fence permit for said neighbor. And it ended up not being a deck, what it was, he put a concrete slab. It's probably about 4 feet off the property line, he has a grill and a couple chairs out there. And section 202 for definitions, number 137 is the definition of a structure. And it says not including sidewalks, drives, patios, or utility poles. Also, from my understanding, the 2 neighbors kind of reached a common ground. It's not a violation anyway, but they kind of put their differences aside, I guess. So that was a follow-up from last week, the last, planning commission meeting. The microbrewery null taproom fence was approved. Now, the township is still waiting on a sketch, an updated sketch of the fence. From the Nulls, so we can write the special use permit, and we told them that about a week ago, and then I actually told them that again today. Communications, I had a individual looking at 8048. This W35, I think I meant to put N35. So basically, he was asking about this property, and some of the accessory buildings don't meet current setback requirements. And we talked about this at the planning commission meeting, they said it's built decades ago, you know, you can buy the property if you want, there be no violations, just anything, any additional builds or anything would have to follow the current ordinance. An individual inquired about short-term rental in R1, responded it's not permitted. And then we had one member of the public in support of the microbrewery fence. And then that'll do it.
The only other thing I wanna have on that is that we're still working on the citations, and the ordinance has to be, the planning commission did approve it to come to the board, but I voted on that, so we can't vote on it.
Sure,
Because we can't vote.
perfect,
So I have to put that in 3 minutes.
okay. Commission meeting, our business meeting. Business, without business, business.
I have a couple of things today, and then obviously we'll talk later, I think about the parking for the church brewery. But I wanted to cover a couple of other items. First off, we have the signage, the emergency or 911 signage, what we've been calling that. Emily DeSalvo, our new county administrator, is working very closely with the group that is doing that work to define an individual who will only be working on that for the next year to complete it. So that's moving forward very quickly. So she'll be speaking to it at the Michigan Township Association on Thursday this week. So anybody who wants to attend that, but otherwise I'll let you know after the fact. I'll send it up and let you know what's going on. The other is that I've gotten a couple of complaints, and one was quite serious the other day, on M35 out here in R1 district. The problem is people driving on that road, obviously too fast. It's 50 miles an hour. When I looked at the MDOT code for defining speed limits, it probably should be 45 based on the number of the driveways in that particular area, but it's 50. But people drive really fast. The problem is they're passing each other. And what's happening is people are trying to pull out of their driveway to take a right. So what you're doing is you're looking left to see if anybody's coming. And then you don't see anyone, and so you start to pull out and there's someone passing and they're coming head on towards you. And we've had this happen a couple of times, and just the other day, someone literally said they saw their life flash before their eyes. They thought for sure they were going to be hit. And when you're passing, when people are going 50 and you're passing them, you're probably doing 60, 65. So I think we have a real situation out there that we need to address with MDOT. But the only way we can do that is by the township, the governing body for this township, to make a formal request. So what I would like to suggest is that we invite MDOT to maybe have a conversation with them. I know they're gonna be doing some work on that road here soon, and so this is the time to have that conversation. Talk about possibly no passing through that residential area. It is R1, it's residential. I don't see why we should be allowing passing during that section. Maybe even having some signage put up saying, residential area, maybe like at the breezy or something that says residential area so that you know you're entering a residential area. I don't think the people who are doing this are locals. I think they're actually visitors. They just don't know. They don't know that this is a residential area. It feels like a highway when you're out there. Technically it is, but And the other things that we had talked about as a possible solution was marking on the actual road, the speed limit. So it's not just a sign, but you'll see it on the actual roadway quite large. So there's a lot of options. But I think we have to make a formal request to MDOT to have them look at it. And they can do an evaluation, a study. They can look at speeds, what are people driving, are there people passing? You know, put up electronic signs saying, this is the speed that you're going right now to reinforce, you know, and then maybe talk to our local law enforcement about upping maybe the patrolling of that area. So I just want to throw it out there. I hope that we can work to sort of resolve this before somebody is not with us anymore, because it's dangerous out there. So I did also spend some time today. I just sat on the side of the road in a couple of different spots, 3 different spots, and I just counted or clocked the number of cars going by. I'm shocked at how much traffic there is on that road.
Do it on a weekend.
Well, I did it purposefully at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the lowest, like.
It was still shocking.
Nobody's driving around at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? It was shocking to me. It wasn't when people are traveling for, you know, after work or before work or anything. So I think that it's worthwhile to have the conversation about maybe doing some changes out there. So those are the 2 things I have. Are there any questions?
Just a comment, I turned, just for the heck of it, cause I always I can't figure out why people ride my butt when I'm going 53 and a 50.
Yeah.
But I turn my GPS on my nav on my Buick, and it says the speed limit's 55.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
And I don't know how to fix that, but that's not helping, cause if
Yeah.
they're following their GPS, they're mad we're not going the speed limit.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
a very good thing to know.
Yeah,
Because that data is fed from MDOT into that system, so MDOT has the speed limit probably incorrect in their
Yes.
database.
on that stretch.
Exactly, so
Mine says 50.
Yeah, no, my nav says 55.
and it'll depend, yeah.
Yeah, there is a
Oh,
source
that's
out
interesting,
there.
it should be the same, but,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, I didn't say that.
I don't,
Yeah.
but it's the in the car one, not the iPhone, you know.
but I think the most critical, I know the speed limit is pretty accurate. I was surprised, I thought it should have been, when I looked at the data, I thought, oh, we probably have more driveways, but when I looked, I'm like, no, it's 45, we probably would.
Yeah.
So 50 is not that bad, for the speed limit, but it's the passing.
Yeah.
That's a problem. People pass on the right, they go onto the shoulder and they pass, and you know, there's bicyclists and people walking and then people, you know, pass on the left and, you know, people coming out of the driveway.
I made it 8 years living there, I had to move.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
So I do have a couple of comments about it too. So when, it's not just the area between Breezy Point and the R1 area, it extends beyond that, because when you're at the end of K Road and you come out to the highway and you're gonna turn left to go towards town, the bridge is a passing zone.
I know.
And it's 55.
And it's 55, it's where it starts at 55, so they hurry up and buzz around. And I look up and I see a car just starting onto the bridge. I have plenty of time to pull up, right? I
Right,
pull out and there's a car coming right at me.
because they're passing.
Luckily, right there, there's a turnabout.
Yeah.
You know, where it widens out.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me.
Yeah,
I believe there should be no passing all the way from Breezy Point, probably from town.
well,
All
it's
the way.
already no passing at Breezy because there's that curve there.
But
It's
before
right-
that,
yeah.
that is a passing zone between Breezy and town. There's a couple of them. in
Yeah.
there. So last summer, Amanda and I were down in Wisconsin at this little, what I call a resort area around the lake. Very similar to M35. And you know what the speed limit was going through there? 25.
So 25, I looked up the law, and 25 is you have to have 60 entries within a half mile. So if there were 60 entries
Well,
within
and
that
then
half mile,
Wisconsin's different,
it's
but
25.
my point was is that they have the signs that tell you how fast going and.
Yeah,
Slow down.
unfortunately for us, the entries are, and I think this is something we could talk with MDOT about, I think it's address is not, because someone has a lot of these dual curve,
Yeah.
you know, so you can't count that twice. But if we could count that twice, then we would be much higher, and it's 25 if there's 60, and then it goes 50 to 59 is 30 miles per hour, 45 to 49 is 35 miles per hour, so there's very specific set rules for the speed limits that get set. However, you can work with MDOT and the road commission locally if you wanted to do something different. So, and that might be what the deal is. There might have been 55 and we worked with them to get it to 50.
They did, they had to have committees, it was a
Yeah.
very long process.
Yeah.
So, but, and I also just wanna throw it out there that if we need to form a committee to get something done over there, I would be more than happy.
I do
to sit
think-
on that committee.
I would request that. I do think it would be nice if we could put a formal committee together. We ask MDOT to participate, the road commission. We have them run a study on, the amount of traffic, do the analysis. How many road cuts do we have? How many residents? It's all of that. And then, and MDOT already did a lot of this, Debbie, last year, or when we were looking at doing the bike lane.
Right,
So a lot of that's already done. So we could just pull from that.
the other issue on that highway is the parked cars on the highway.
So that was another complaint.
I-
And it was, I think it's a big deal right now because someone is having some enormous trees removed and it's been going on for a couple of weeks. And so there's big trucks right on the edge.
So it's,
Yeah.
it happens with, landscapers
Yeah.
all the time. So is Steve on Zoom? Is he on Zoom?
No.
Okay, but he basically told me that we, as a township, we have to have an MDOT, permit for Troy.
To even park on
To
this.
even park on it. So why do these, I'm not asking as a question,
Yeah.
it's more of a statement, that, Joe Blow's got these
I just,
companies mowing their lawns that park on the roadway, they should be pulling in their driveway.
I just think that they
Yeah.
can, and so they do. And I think what would be probably the easiest solution for that is just to send a notice to each of the residences along that stretch and just to them to say, hey, if you've got contractors doing work, make sure they pull off the shoulder.
Mhm.
I think that'd be the simplest solution to start with. But yeah,
I did, also talk with the sheriff's department on it, and, the gal there indicated to me that they had numerous complaints
yeah,
about parking and passing.
Yeah.
And that, she's asked, road patrol to step it up.
good. I think that we need to preempt any major, I'm just really a little nervous about something bad happening out there. And
Yeah.
I'd like to do something before.
I'm going to, do some research on this.
Okay.
And maybe try to put a plan together for next month and put it on the agenda and see how people feel. Maybe we need to have a public hearing on it.
Public meeting.
Yeah.
A public hearing meeting.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Talking with law enforcement, they are all the way from Menominee and all the way to Escanaba, they are helping the patrols because they have the same issue going on in the county. There's been several bad accidents and it's all the speed and people just not paying attention when they're driving, so we have. already talked about it.
down there lately.
Yeah. So-
We just had one on M35 today.
Yeah.
Just had an accident. Yeah.
Was that injured?
One minor injury, check though.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on and get this, for policy update, we're gonna table, right? Let's see, we're all set again.
The only question, that's fine, I'm fine, Tina, we don't have, I think it's, there's a section of it, can't get the alcohol.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to look.
Do you remember what policy number it is? Okay.
Then the other part is security, I just wondered why you didn't want security to that, security policy, you had that all across, the reason for us to need something, just telling me simple. You know,
I'll have to look.
take a look at the securities. Those are the only two, but yeah, I can't think of the other one, there's two spots that are capable. Oh, that's good, otherwise it's, this is just.
Okay.
I love it, it's all updated.
And then whoever's gonna update it, maybe they can bring it to the table next month so we can have it to read.
Do you wanna print it out, Debbie? I mean, it's all online, we all have access.
And everyone- we
online.
printed
Do
it.
you wanna print that whole thing out, or how do you want to do it? I was gonna ask.
Well, we're gonna have to print it out to approve it. We don't even have.
Well, we can print one copy, but you wanna print 5 copies? I don't know, it's up to you, I'm just saying, if you wanna save.
I'll look at it, I'll take care.
Because we can all see it online and approve that, yes, we have to have one physical copy.
Yeah.
But,
And then we have to have a month to go over it, so we should be able to approve it by the September meeting. Right?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
It'll be
All right, playground update, we have some quotes here that can't wait till the next meeting. So, I was hoping Steve was on.
That's okay, he wrote this all out.
Yeah, so, we can get the mulch that we need and then worry about. We can approve the mulch for the playground, this is not covered under a grant, by the way. We could approve the mulch and then, worry about how we're gonna spread it at a later date. Steve's got some equipment and Dave said he would help out and. I believe Pat Agina said that he would be willing to bring his tractor over here and help out, so. We can solicit some help later, but we absolutely need to approve the purchase.
Here's my question, why are we doing mulch? Why aren't we doing,
Well, because I think it says right on there.
no, I'm saying, why aren't we doing the spongy stuff?
I think it was a cost factor.
We never voted on it. Like, we never, I thought we were doing the Bessie Park
Did
floor.
we do that last year? Or did we talk about that last meeting?
I thought part of the whole project was we would have soft ground, I didn't know we were doing mulch again, you can't. Roll a wheelchair or bring someone like, how is that accessible? I feel like I'm behind here.
I don't think you are behind. I don't think that it's. I don't think that mulch is the answer either. I think we should we put this off and get a quote on the spongy mushy stuff?
What was the reason it couldn't be waiting until next month? Was there something holding this up? I'm sorry.
No, I don't believe
Wasn't that
so.
grant, doesn't the grant have to be, because that's.
The grant doesn't pay for this.
Oh,
This
Right,
is
this
not
is
the
our
grant.
portion, but even if it's 30 grand, why wouldn't we do something durable and forever than 10 grand a mulch?
All right, let's just table it then.
Aren't we getting some sort of playground equipment that is like accessible and inclusive for you?
It's already got a base under that.
So how do you get to it? Mulch?
I don't know.
Okay.
Amanda, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. That's why I was hoping Steve would be on Zoom tonight. but Let's just table it. If it needs a decision, we can call a special meeting. Right?
And he did all this work to provide it, but none of this answered the actual question. Why not?
Do you wanna try to call him?
No,
Okay.
it can wait, or we can do a quick special meeting
All
or
right,
something,
we
but
have to, we will. Let's just move on. How's that?
the alternative is we could review. Like, if it has to be mulch, we can just pick one, but I'm still, maybe there's a good simple reason why it can't be.
No, I'd rather give him the opportunity to speak on it. Because he's the one that's gonna be working with these people.
Are you gonna be memory this thing?
I remember when I first started, we talked about doing the hard
Yeah,
surface stuff, like a mat, like a gym mat.
yeah.
Gym mat for it, but I guess too, and I have this, why are we all of a sudden didn't somebody professional design all this, and now we're not up to standards? Safety spec standards?
Right from the very beginning, he did say that the mulch wouldn't, that wouldn't be included in it.
Right. But in the original design, it says our playground doesn't meet the safety spec.
Right, so the mulch we always knew the mulch had to come out, but I just didn't know we were replacing it with new mulch.
Yeah.
I thought we were putting rubber floor. Okay. I don't like mulch for this.
Well, I don't like it for the fact that grass grows up in between it anyway. And
It's gross.
and yeah,
Kids take it out of their knees all the time, and it's not the most, if that's what we're going for, that's not it. I thought the reason we had to take the railroad ties out is because it wasn't flat and able to get to. But how do you contain mulch if not a border? And if you have a border, how do you get in?
let's table it.
We would like to approve hard surface, so what we're talking about the mats.
I was only looking at mulch quotes, okay, let me read on. The items, original plans and later modified.
mulch might be for around some of the trees and
We
stuff like
would
that.
like it for
Some
something
of the
else.
plantations and stuff.
My whole argument is baseless, but we are getting hard for it.
Because we need the rest of that.
Well, no, it says number 2, like it's not related. Sorry, everybody, hold on, we're trying to. Okay, portable setup.
Hard surface option, but due to an oversight, the items in the bulletin were not included in the hard surface option. We would like to approve hard surfacing items 1, 2, and 3.
It's all of,
Because a leaf,
all of,
olive,
all of these items. No, this is
Right.
concrete, that's not rubber, that's not what this is about. It's from UP Concrete.
That's a totally different thing we have to vote on.
Right, that's not this.
Okay.
But for 280 yards of mulch, it's the whole thing. That's not just around trees, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather spend more money to do it right, personally.
Okay, this one is the one that we do need to talk about though. And this is.
Hold on,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I lost my agenda. So
We're tabling
17
14B1.
quotes for playground resurfacing.
Right. And this is additional grant related work that wasn't in the original approval. It's to remove the benches. Install under supplied bike loop as shown in the attached drawings, which we didn't get. Install concrete footings for entry sign, picnic tables.
Yeah, I'm fine with this, you know why, because we have money still budgeted that we haven't spent yet.
We talked about this.
And we talked about it, we
Right,
said, yeah.
Okay.
So I make a motion, we approve RP 2201181006, bulletin number 1 for 14,400 for the 5 items listed. This
A
is
second.
We got motion and second, any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Junk update, no update. 911 sign update, there's no update, but I did ask Dave how they were doing, he said they had less than 200 left,
Right,
which is huge.
yeah.
They're really moving away. All right, 14E, per cart final bill counter offer. As you can see, you got the letter that they accepted the 50% proposal at $17,781.05. I don't believe we have to vote on this because we already voted on it.
Yep.
But I think that we should acknowledge receipt of the letter in some way, so I did that. Cool. And then YouTube. So this is Jane, because you spoke with Julie about it.
Yeah.
I guess I was a little bit confused, Jane, because in last month's meeting, you said you were gonna reach out to MTA.
And I did. I heard back from them, and of course, I went back to the media, but they sent back that there's synopsis and I can send it to you. But it was pretty much, it doesn't matter to them. I mean, it's fine to put it on, it gives you more public access, there's nothing,
Okay.
pretty much, there's nothing wrong with doing that. What they said. And this one for Julie that I reached out was because you guys had asked if it would, if it could
It'll
go
be
on
posted
the
on the
website.
website.
And it's easier to
Yeah.
find, this is
On the
easier
website.
not to think so too much. So that was why that one.
How many people are on there tonight? Oh, it's to watch, have to watch it.
You have to belong to the channel, and there's like 21 on there, I think is all, so. I
But that's you subscribe, so more people could
Subscribe.
watch, that's just you subscribe.
don't have to subscribe to it to watch it.
I don't think so, no.
No.
Okay. I personally like it because of the transparency and FOIA requests.
I agree with you.
It's definitely cut the work down in my life. No.
I don't have a problem,
We
I
never-
just said
we never
to have
voted on it.
one. That's all I wanted was that in the record.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we put the planning commission meetings and the Fort River Township regular meetings and special meetings on YouTube.
I don't, can we have further discussion before we get second, because I don't love special meetings, because those are, well, I guess I don't care, but we're not always gonna have someone here for
Oh,
those.
that's right, Brett won't be here for those. Okay,
But,
so I'm gonna amend my motion to say planning commission meetings and regular Fort River Township board meetings.
How about if we do any Zoom meetings, just in case someone's not here to Zoom the meeting? I mean, if somebody's sick and doesn't Zoom the meeting. What if Brett comes,
when,
right now Brett does it, what
Yeah.
happens if he's sick and doesn't come to the meeting? I can't make it to the meeting, it doesn't hit them, see what I'm saying? Just the wording of it, I'm no problem with it going on, I'm just saying we have to figure it out, because if someone's gonna say, well, you had at the meeting, then come back and say, they didn't come back and say, well, the guy who doesn't was here.
Can we put an audio on YouTube? Mr. Kaplan,
Yeah, excuse me.
if for some reason Brett couldn't be here to do our meetings on Zoom. And can we take our audio and put it on YouTube?
Yeah, you can, and just probably have the Fort River Township logo with the audio attached to it. Yeah, you just have to.
Yeah,
That's fine.
let's do that.
I want to cover it.
So I'm gonna say that our meetings are broadcasted on YouTube, but they don't have to be audio and video, they can just be audio if we don't have video.
It's a long motion, Debbie.
No, I've made it quite simple by saying, I get our meetings will be broadcasted on.
Yeah.
I didn't say how.
Second,
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, motion passes.
You did say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, see, you got too much time in there.
I will not pass.
Okay, number 15, current litigation updates, we'll just table all of that. We don't have any updates. 16, new business. Website,
yeah, we all got got a copy of the bill, it's up for the year to renew. With the cost, I talked to Julie, we kind of went over it, we don't need to do the personal website editor service, I don't think we need that for 600 a year, but they do offer one for 200. I would like to keep that.
well, I don't feel a need for it, we have 2 people that do it now.
I feel a need for it because for one thing, we could get into a situation just like we are now, if those people aren't here, we want to put on, I think it's good for something like this to have a third party. If nothing else, but as a backup.
Okay, but there is also a rate for it as a backup, if we, at $120 an hour.
I still don't feel 200 is for a whole year. It's a cheap price to pay to have her, you have more than just a backup, you also have her expertise, she keeps us updated.
Isn't that what the service and hosting is all about?
I really wanna go with, I'm making a motion that we go with the 200.
I haven't even read it yet, but. Oh. You're on sales, free maintenance options.
I thought that the reason that we did this with this company was so that we wouldn't have to pay a fee every year if we had our people trained, which we did do. And Deanna does an excellent job of it. In the event that Deanna can't do it, Steve can do it. They're both very well trained, they're both very good at it. They've both gotten a lot of work done on there. And I don't see the need to pay an outside company anymore.
What is annual fee is $385,
That's the host bill.
okay, domain renewal is 20, maintenance, yeah. Oh, is that here? I was reading the email, like, filling my eye.
So instead of
Okay.
600 here, I propose we make it 200.
But that's just for what Dan and Steve do, that's nothing else.
It is, but to be honest, that's my number one concern is that with, there, something happens, they're gone, they leave, we have a third party, something that's, it's just like we just talked about.
Something happens and they're gone, we can always ask them.
But can I finish my sentence, Debbie?
Yeah.
My other concern is exactly what this is. I feel that how you guys felt when we talked about getting information officer, you felt it was, I feel if I were to go through Deanna, I would get a 3rd degree from Debbie. As to why I'm putting it on, what I'm doing, why do I want to do it this way? I feel like I should be able to put that on as I want to.
I'm not even gonna comment. That's ridiculous. And I've given you the 3rd degree on what you put on.
Last month, you gave me, I called Deanna about something and you got involved in a 3-day conversation over it, and I never did even end up talking to her. So I just would feel more comfortable if I could keep going through this. With it, and I don't think $200 for a year,
But it's free if you just get trained yourself then.
that's fine.
I mean, if you don't want anybody to know what you're putting on the
I'm not gonna
website.
know anybody to know, I wanna be able to put something on the website without having to write a thesis about it. Or explain myself about it, or why I want it, or it should go this way, it should go.
Then have Deanna train you. Then it's free and then no cost to the taxpayers.
That's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and pay the bill minus the 600, because we still have to do the 385. And the 20, and then be able to use the services if we need additional at the 520.
Sorry, tell me the 520.
500, well, I'm sorry, not 520, 120, but they do that in increments. Let's say that you want to put a bid out. Like when C puts a bid out for these playground things,
Yeah,
they would put that on there and they would charge 120 per hour to do that, but they do it prorated, like so much per minute.
or Steve could just
That's
do it,
fine. Or he could just
right? This is just
Okay,
uploading
you just-
documents
uploading documents.
and editing the pages.
Right, we're talking about things that you put on the front page of.
Yeah.
things.
Yep.
That's stuff you would pay.
No, but Steve and Deanna would do it.
Do they do that on front page or do
Sure.
they just upload the documents?
No, they can edit anything.
So if they
Yeah.
didn't, then it would be, if for some reason we have used them to do it, that is what the charge is.
Right, but then nobody can do this without
No,
our approval.
no.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So
I think-
I just need to back this up a bit and say. Nothing goes on that website. We don't make decisions what goes on that website. We make decisions. So when you wanna put something on the website, if it's not board approved, you can't put it on there anyway. You don't make that decision.
I never said I did.
You said you wanted to.
I said I wanted to be free to put something on there that I didn't have to
Exactly.
go through a big 3-hour discussion with you on doing it.
Well, it
That's
still has
what
to
it
be
said.
board approved.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Discussion.
You can keep having this conversation if you want to, Deb. I have no problem with it.
I'm in the middle of phone here.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that we pay. 420 company, whatever it is, $424. For the annual membership.
I'll support.
Actually, I'm sorry, if you look at the annual rate for the notifications, the email notifications, we should only do the $10 one, because that's 5,000.
Okay,
There's no reason to do the 19.
414.
Yeah.
Wait, no,
415.
415, yes.
Yeah, 385
Minus the
plus the 20,
Yeah.
plus the 10. 415, yeah.
Oh, I see, it'll be 5,000 cents.
Yeah, 10,000.
Okay,
Hopefully we'll have
it'll be mine is $9 more.
Yeah.
This will be
415.
it's 415. Alright. I'll second. Any other discussion?
You made the motion.
Oh, I put your initials on there, I'm sorry, I had it backwards. We had to go check the vote. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. 16B, tree at West Cemetery, Joe.
There's an ash tree in the middle of the cemetery, West Cemetery, it's an ash. And I've watched it decline, I do treatments for emerald ash borer, and I'd be happy to donate my services to try to save that tree. So it's just a matter of injecting it with the insecticide. It's all closed and it's very effective. That's pretty much it. But I need permission
Yeah,
from the board.
I make a motion, we approve Mr. Kaplan to treat the ash tree in the cemetery free of charge.
I'll second. Motion and second, any other discussion?
With my appreciation, of course, for that, that's generous, thank you.
Do you know if it's associated with anyone's gravesite?
I don't have any knowledge.
Probably planted for someone.
I have no clue,
Okay.
I don't even know where it is.
Right,
in the center.
right in the center of that cemetery.
It's the only tree.
Right in the center.
You know which tree I'm talking about?
Close to the flagpole one?
Yeah.
It's by the building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Probably on somebody's lot, but township owns all the land there, I mean, they just got the burial and.
Oh, yeah, the township trees, so
Yeah,
I just don't know if it was planted or something.
I don't think anybody's having.
Well, if you don't treat it, you'll,
Yeah, yeah.
pay for
Yep.
somebody to put that on the state, donate that too. Which might come rest and might, we sometimes work for,
There you go. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
thank you.
Thank you. No parking signs, church road. Wow, this is going to be a really long story. So I'm just going to sum it up real quick. And Christine, if you would like to speak on it, you are welcome to. So there's some copies of emails in here. If you all recall, May, Julie Norman was at our meeting. And told us that these signs were going to happen. He said it's a done deal, it's gonna happen. James specifically asked him if we would have to pay for those signs. He responded to her and said there will be no cost to the township.
Amanda, you asked.
Oh, I asked here, yeah, okay, sorry.
Steve asked first.
Okay,
Steve asked first, and then I said, just to clarify,
Yeah,
we are not requesting these, we are not purchasing these, we have no cost to the township, and then you asked after I,
okay,
so three of us
okay,
asked.
so anyway, it was made very clear to us at that meeting that there would be no cost. Then something happened, because the signs never got put up. So, he then text messaged, Steve. And told Steve that, well, you can see what he said in the text message. You know, that, there was a misunderstanding of some kind. Actually, I believe, Chris, you should speak on the misunderstanding with his boss.
Oh, with Mr. Ashbacher.
Yes,
Who is the, he's the elected road commission, so he runs the road commission. And, Jody had told Bob, who is Bob Ashbacher, that, he had sent a text to Steve Nelson as supervisor the day after the meeting, that this is what they were gonna cost. But that's not what Steve's text messages say. I mean, it was sent like
yeah,
3 weeks later. So there's just something off. But I think most importantly, it was very clear from the meeting, from the recording, that the road commission said these are going to get put up and it will be at no cost to you, to the township.
yeah.
And then to have the road commission come back and say, it's gonna be $200 to sign, it's gonna be $150 to install them, and whatever, was a bit frustrating. But I know Jody Norman did go and find parking signs, no parking signs, that were available, and, they were going to give those to the township at no cost. But then they wanted to charge you to install them.
so I spoke with Jody today on the phone and I took it upon myself to do it only because he was out of town and he didn't get time to finish this before he left. So I called him, he said he has 5 used signs that we can have at no cost. It's $40 for the posts. And I said, well, can we use the posts we already have? They're not long enough, they have to be 12 foot because they have to be 7 feet from the ground to the bottom of the sign, and then the sign is about a foot. So they go in the ground about 4 feet.
Yeah.
And, he will give them to us at their cost at $40 a piece. So for the 5 free signs, it would cost us $200 for 5 signs. I personally I feel like if we put signs up here, I don't think that 5 signs is gonna do the trick. I think we need like, what's that? 9, which would be 4 on each side and 1 in the person across from the apartment building in their yard. So each additional sign, okay, so the 5 signs, 5 free signs with the posts would be $200. And then additional signs would be 50 for the sign and 40 for the post. And I spoke with Dave, our maintenance guy today, and he said he would be more than happy to put them in. So we're at $90 per sign above 5.
I'm baffled, I'm sorry, cause he was like adamant, like state of Michigan wanted them, they need to be there, they need to put a lot there, like he was like really animated about these signs. So right do we have to even put signs?
Oh, because he
Even
said,
have that right?
he said now in order to, for signs to be there, we have to.
Yes, that was the other part of it is.
Yeah,
Initially, he had commented that, the local, Delta County Sheriff and Michigan State Police were saying, get signs up so that we don't have to get called all the time. Or,
Sure.
they could enforce no parking.
Right,
Right now, they really can't, I mean, there's nothing
So
there.
it's, I'm sorry, so it's by default allowed unless the sign says it's not?
Well, it's very strange in Delta County because you're not, technically, you're not allowed to park on the roadway, but people park off the shoulder, but their tires are still like on the roadway. So, even though you're pulled off, it's not technically allowed,
Yeah,
but
okay,
no one in Delta County enforces that.
right,
Because people have garage sales and they have,
yeah,
and there's all kinds of things that go on, right? People do this all the time, so it's not enforced unless the township makes a formal request to say, I don't want any parking in a specific spot, and then they will start to enforce it.
Okay.
Even if you don't have no parking signs, but I think in this case, you need.
the police officers are like, please, just get the signs,
Yeah.
but for some reason, the request from the police has been withdrawn.
I don't know that for sure. I have not seen that. I do know that when Jody Dolan was here, he specifically talked about law enforcement is asking us to put up these signs.
Right.
But I have heard that that request has been rescinded from the police, but I have seen nothing that actually states that. I don't know.
I kind of feel, well, my feeling on this right now is I think number one, you should table any of this, because for one thing, now that they put it back on the township, we should have something that has a criteria for putting up these. I mean, what happens if, okay, we'll put them up here, but hey, now it's K-Roads over here, I think this person wants one at their house, or this per L15, I want one at my house, or I want, what I mean, I think we should have some kind of a criteria as to what constitutes putting money in. And I think we need to dig deeper as to why he's telling us it's free and all of a sudden it's no, you gotta pay. I mean, the whole thing just, I just think it's more of a whole board, with the boards here, discussion. That's my take on it. I would feel comfortable voting, I think today, because there's just a lot of questions on it.
Well, there's no, there is, I'm trying to figure the right words. What you mean by criteria all over the township, rather than where the signs will be placed.
That's what I mean,
Because where the signs will be placed will be under the guidelines of the road commission.
But you think that-
I know,
right.
but those are things that we should do on a as needed basis, just like we do autism signs. We don't have any rules on that. We have no rules on the blind signs we pay for,
the deaf person
the
area.
deaf person area. I
When
don't
they
see where
requested
this
we do
would be
it.
any different.
I think it's a lot different. I think a blind person or an autism, I think that's a huge safety issue. And no parking.
I think this is the safety issue.
I could say it's a safety issue in front of my house. You could say it's a safety issue. in
And
front
we
of
can
yours.
worry about that at that time.
And then we have to, I just think that we should, with some kind, I just think it's more of a board discussion and then it should be some kind of a policy or
Well, I think time is of the essence on this one because these people are going into this every weekend.
There's people here that wanna speak on this.
Yes, and I know that, Linda asked to be speaking.
This is 16C, that's what you want.
Yeah. Did you want to speak? Linda?
Yeah, Linda Lavalette, 5117 I Road. It is a very, very busy area. It's a very dangerous situation every Friday night, and sometimes Saturday. The criteria, Jane, is that it's a residential neighborhood that now has a bar in it. It's dangerous. I don't know if you have a bar 2 doors down from your house, but it's very dangerous. Yeah, and the other signs like the, deaf children and everything, I get that, that's a huge safety issue, but this is a huge safety issue every weekend. It's very dangerous. And I think something needs to be done sooner than later.
I can just add to your real quick, the reason why it's a safety issue is that the folks are parking right up to the edge of everyone's driveways. And so when you're trying to leave your driveway, you literally have two cars and you can't see beyond it until you're like edging yourself out there. And then now you've got your nose out there and someone's zipping by. So it's not, it's not a few cars. This is a lot of cars all the way down the road and it lines both sides and people can't get in and out of the driveways safely anymore. So it is a safety issue and it's not just because it's a bar. I mean, it could be something else too. It's a safety issue because they're parking right up next to everyone's driveway.
They're also parking on both sides of the road.
And it's very narrow.
Which then becomes one-way traffic. And that causes traffic jams at the highway, it causes traffic jams going the other way on I Road. It's a mess. And I don't think it should be tabled. I think someone needs to take action and get this taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else care to speak on the parking problem on High Road? I didn't know if maybe any of you folks in the back row had anything, okay.
So it'd be $6.50 for up to 9 signs.
No. $90 for 4 of them would be $360, and then the 200 would be $560. $560.
For what should have been free, but is not going to be. They're just not gonna do it.
And you know what? Each one of those other signs cost us like $400. Remember when we put the blind signs up?
Yeah.
So a piece. So I think that it's a really good price and
they've been asking for this since May. I don't think we can serve.
it actually started before May, but that's when it came to where we spoke in the meeting.
I make a motion, we get up to 9 signs for up to $560. Put in as requested.
I'm gonna second. I think it's important that these signs get done and that this problem gets hopefully put to bed over in that area and that the traffic can get back to normal. So we have motion support, any other?
I feel we're setting a bad precedence.
Let's make sure that's on the record, that you feel that,
Yeah.
for sure.
I see what you're saying, Jane, however, you've never had to meet criteria on signage before. Each one was taken individually,
It's like a case by case basis.
case by case. That's the way we've always done it. If you feel as though there should be a policy in place for that in the future, I think that's something the board should look at trying. And I'm all for that. So motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Would you like a roll call?
You say any opposed?
Any opposed? Sorry. Okay. Why didn't you run this meeting?
Sorry,
I'm trying to do 3 things at once.
And I will post the reason that we don't have a criteria.
Yeah. I will put that on it for you. So motion passed.
Oh, this is nothing.
Trust repair, there really isn't much to talk about, except that it doesn't look like the truck is gonna be repairable. So in the meantime, Dave has agreed to use his personal vehicle for sign installation. And we never have approved mileage for that, so that's all I'm asking for tonight, is to approve Dave's mileage on his personal vehicle.
I make a motion, we approve mileage on Dave using his personal vehicle to save us the cost of truck replacement right now.
Second. Thank you. Motion in second, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Quick comment on that, for the last meeting, I told Steve I was gonna check in. So I did send Steve, the Michigan DNR does have one truck. They'll have their Stevenson DNR post. They're supposed to check into it on me, because part of the criteria for them getting a truck to us is that it has to be basically, used for fire. Majority of the percentage of the use has to be for fire related stuff.
I hear you offering us a truck.
No, for
No, we'll
the.
take your truck.
No.
Yeah.
But I did tell them that they use that truck primarily, in the summertime, a little bit for cutting grass, but plowing,
Yeah.
plowing the parking lot of the fire hall, he said should fall into that category. And I don't think they really follow up, like, once we had a truck years ago from the DNR that we had to be available for mutual aid. So the only thing I would say that, possibly we might have to get like a cheap, like, water tank to put in the back of a little tiny pump or something. The DNR guy was double checking into that for me, just to verify that that would be possible. I sent Steve some pictures of it. So I'll get with Steve. I also reached out to, DTE, they lease their vehicles, so they don't have anything. Enbridge, they lease some, but they were supposed to send me an application, because they do have some trucks available. They were supposed to send me an online application, and they haven't sent it to me yet through email. That you can apply for basically getting a truck free from them, but I haven't seen that application come through yet, so. I did check, and I kind of left, like I said, I gave Steve a picture of that, just for plowing purposes, for winter and stuff, you could get it, so.
So really quickly, why can't fire department, why can't we make it a fire department shop?
No, I was
No,
talking about taking Ryan's.
No, I'm saying if you
Right.
qualify for this truck, it can be a fire department.
Right, it just, it has to be used a certain percentage for fire purposes, which plowing.
You could take his fire costs, because he's not gonna be
We
using
can
it.
do the first.
Plow yourself into driveways,
And
because you
that's-
guys have ditched yourselves.
And that's what I told them too, we
Yeah.
should do the plowing our way in the winter time to a residential
Yeah.
area that has a fire and stuff, to be available for that, so. I'm waiting to hear back from you, and then I'll let Steve know, cause that'll be free. I mean, it's not in the greatest shape, they'll be good about the plowing and stuff, if they do get it, it'll be. Then it'll just be a matter of, you have to plow we have would attach to it, or we'd have to. buy
Yeah,
it off or-
But still, it's
Still.
plow's cheaper than a truck. Thanks for doing that. That's great.
Only one more thing on your new business is the, cemetery conference coming up. It's not till October 16th, but the sign up is now. And I would like, approval to attend this seminar. Because it's really,
She's just
very beneficial.
She's already.
I make a motion to give you.
All right, okay.
I support. It's $75 and some travel, but I'll support. This board doesn't say no to training.
Motion support, any more discussion on the favor? Aye. All right, public comment. No, it's nice to do. I just realized. It's never. She had this thing. Okay, he's bold, you want to reach board member, and then these are just definitions that hold. Okay. Thank you.
Maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah. Alternate.
Oh,
I can send it at the city meeting.
okay.
Hi, my name is Mike Basker. I'm from Gladstone. I'm here tonight with the group of the concerned citizens, brought that notice to you. To read the notice that we served on Nancy, our county clerk was supposed to forward that to each of these. Obviously you hadn't received it until now, so that's okay. The notice is addressed to all Delta County elected and appointed officials. It is entitled Delta County Point of Clarity Notice. The sovereign have all political power. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent, which means any person receiving this notice shall be responsible for distributing it to all the addressed government agents listed. The notice body reads, I, Mike Basker, one of the people, as seen in the 50 state constitutions, Republican and formed, sui juris, meaning nothing more than I'm of the legal age and sound mind to present this notice to you to provide due care to those with all political power, the people. Please take notice, the people are the sovereigns, with all political power having authority over government servants and trustees that are instituted for our equal benefit, security, and protection. Government trustees shall always be amenable to the people, meaning liable and accountable. And at that point, I'm gonna break off my reading of the notice because we can't fit it into your 3-minute time zone, so that portion will be followed up. And just to close out, our Michigan Constitution actually requires a Republican form of government. And Delta County was the first county in the entire state of Michigan to fail at that requirement when our township supervisors abrogated their responsibilities and created county commissions, which are unconstitutional. So we are just working together to try to get this corrected for the benefit of all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, I'm sorry, can you spell your last name for me, please?
MASKART.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jack Hucklepuck, from Espinapa,
And Jack, could you spell your last name too, please?
HAKKOLA.
Thank you.
And I'm here to play a video and also to read a quote from our Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. A quote, "We are all created equal. We have inalienable rights. They don't come from the government. They belong to each of us. The government derives its just powers from the consent of the government. We are the sovereign in this country. We the people," unquote. Now what I'd like to do is play a video. The link is provided in your notice that was handed out to you. This is from Neil Gorsuch. Is this the mic right here?
Yes.
We are all created equal. We have inalienable rights. They don't come from government. They belong to each of us. And the government derives its just powers from the consent of the government. We are the sovereign of this country. We the people.
That's all, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Bonnie Hucklepuck. So, please spelling.
We know how to spell your name.
Oh, okay, good. Great. I would like to speak as one of the people. Well, let's look at the Michigan State Constitution Preamble. We, the people of the state of Michigan, grateful to Almighty God for the blessings of freedom and earnestly desiring to secure these blessings undiminished to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. Of course, you realize posterity means your children and your children's children. I feel a need and a dedicated requirement to preserve and leave to my grandchildren, as I'm sure you feel the same about yours, the best world I can, the best government available so they will be able to live a life where individual liberties are protected. Luckily, our amazing founders left us a Republican form of government which protects individual liberties. This is by way of our constitutional republic. You look on your notice, I'll read some law to you. Right here, it says Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, political power. All political power is inherent in the people. That means it resides in the people. Government is instituted for their equal benefit, security, and protection. It's followed by maxim of law. All political power is inherent in the people by decree of God. Thus none can exist except it be derived from them, from the people. That's an American maxim. And maxim of law, one has authority when he has
a legal or rightful power to act. And maxims are settled law. That means they're foundational law, and in a court of law, they would hold supreme over anything else. So they're finalized. So, to wrap it up, does a democracy offer protection of individual liberties? Not at all. Individual liberties fall to majority votes in a democracy. Only a Republican form of government offers protection for individual liberty. Only it offers the people as the sovereigns, the ones who hold political power. The only king we have is our divine creator. The government office holders are political servants who do the will of the people. And I'm sure you've heard public servant, and that's what you signed on for. And we thank you for doing those jobs. That's huge. It's important. It also requires that we as the people steer the government in the right way. This requires a broad dissemination of knowledge. And that's why we're here tonight, informing you of the roots of our country, the basis of our republic, the one we pledge to in our Pledge of Allegiance, which you know. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I also am speaking to you as one of the people sui juris. My name is Stephanie Carpenter. I'm a Vetskanava. Please take note that we, the people, have assembled to consult for the common good and realize our duty and authority to instruct our servants and trustees in all areas of government. Allow me to elaborate. To instruct is to educate, to inform, and to impart knowledge to one who is destitute of it. The authority is the power delegated by a principal to his agent and the lawful delegation of power by one person to another, specifically to instruct our servants and trustees, which is you, in all areas of government. Please take note that a Republican form of government guarantees the people have the right for redress of grievances before doing the business of people. So therefore, to clarify, the difference between a democracy and a republic, which we are a constitutional republic. A democracy is a majority rule or mob rules, which a Republican form of government, which we are, is due process elected by individuals to govern the people. Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 3, assembly, consultation, instruction, petition. The people have the right to peacefully assemble, to consult for the common good, to instruct the representatives to petition the government for redress of grievances. We, the people, have the right to teach, to educate, to inform the mind, and to impart knowledge to one who is destitute of it. Maximum law. Individual liberties are antecedent to all government, meaning individual liberties, which are inherent rights given to us from God, come before the government. Maximum law. A frequent recurrence to fundamental principles and a firm adherence to justice, virtue, and original law are indispensably necessary to preserve the blessings of liberty and good government. That is an American maxim. Please take note, I'd like to give you 3 definitions which pertain to these notices. Maladministration. This term is used in the logbooks interchangeably with misadministration, and both words mean wrong administration. Malfeasance is evil doing, ill conduct, the commission of some act which is positively unlawful, or silent acquiescence, which is understood or implied as a tacit agreement or tacit understanding. Lastly, malice, the intentional doing of a wrongful act without just cause or excuse with an intent to inflict an injury or under circumstances that the law will imply an evil intent. So the bottom line is the 3 M's, which are maladministration, malfeasance, and malice, go hand in hand. And by just following orders and not following the state and the Michigan state and federal constitution is not an excuse. Not following the federal state constitution is committing malfeasance, maladministration, and malice. So please take note.
Please follow the Constitution, both state and federal. We're trying to save it from yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Jim Stock, I'm from Gladstone. Please take final notice. It is my wish, order, and demand that you publicly acknowledge the people's inherent right and authority to instruct all our servants and trustees in government by entering this notice into the next meeting minutes and post this notice within 7 days on your local official website and or official building. If you believe any of the above claims are untrue, rebut by affidavit, sworn under penalty of perjury, point by point, within 7 days, showing your constitutional grant of authority to usurp or infringe on the people's inherent rights. Failure to respond means that by tacit acquiescence, which means you understand, and if you do nothing, means you agree to it. So by tacit acquiescence, you agree all statements in this notice are truth and fact in the law, and agree to have these matters heard before an arbitrator of my choice, to be bound thereby, and agree that no court shall be able to hear this matter, but it shall stand as evidence of truth in all courts of record. Anyone suppressing this notice agrees to pay $30,000. A response from an attorney not directly addressed by this notice will be considered a non-response. This notice is sent to you in peace and love of Jesus Christ, that you provide due care to those who have all political power, the people. Another maximum of law. Obedience makes government, not the name by which it is called. Now I'm going to say this. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the one and only true judge. Someday, all knees will bow down before him, including mine. Public servants, I have to ask you this question. If he was in this room right now and he asked you, who did you take your oath to? The charters or agencies, or do you serve the people? What did you take your oath to? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
My name is John Gucky. I live at 5122 High Road, out by the church. Just a couple of quick things. I personally, on behalf of the neighborhood, like to thank Christine Williams for her work, diligent work in the placement of these signs. And I'd also like to thank the board for their quick action in regards to helping make our neighborhood more safer for ourselves and our children. Thank you all.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Any other public comment? One more time, any other public comment? Well, hi. Cause you gotta do it 3 times. Oh. Excuse me, we got 40 out there.
Give her the gavel.
Comment.
My public now.
I just thank everybody for exercising their rights to be here tonight. I love to see it personally, so I appreciate the time.
Okay, I have nothing, so
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
motion and second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.